Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
Hey y'all, what's going on? Okay, long time no see. Okay, much love is. I'm still trying to get myself together, and I'm one of those people that I guess I need to try to force myself um, to, you know, pull it together or whatever, what have you. And I'm just having a hard time. With that said, I think I've mentioned that I've asked y'all to pray for my mother that she is having surgery. And now that I have mentioned that, I need to say this. I am truly, truly, truly. I'm going to say this now, but I'm going to find out for sure, definitely. I was finding out for sure, definitely today. But I'm going to know for sure tomorrow whether I will be able to make it or not. For the blackout, I've always said my family will always be first and foremost. Um, and it is what it is, and it's my mother. Okay, and that's all I'm gonna say about that right now. I'm gonna get back on there and let y'all know some more. But you know, anywho. Since I last been on here, y'all, I done been to Chicago. They did have, of course, the services and all of that. Um, and I just feel like my family's not the same. Like my family's my family, but I feel like it's just not the same. And I don't know. So I'm gonna just kind of talk about what I'm just talk about. He was put away very nicely. And there was state representatives there. There was a man that is always on MSNBC. And like I told you, my uncle was a teacher, but he could have been, not that that's not a great thing, but he definitely could have been teaching at, on a higher learning, at a higher level or whatever at a university. He could easily have been a professor. But he decided that he would stay. And he would teach the young man that came out of Robert Taylor home in Cabrini Greens. Okay? Even though he didn't have to, but he wanted them to know that it's possible. You know what I mean? And I know that he had a huge impact because it was just unbelievable when they said, do we have people here from Cabrini Greens from the school of Robert Taylor? And as they stood up, it just was amazing to see. And the people that got up and spoke, and one of his students that he had that he said, if you would have asked me back when I was younger, if you would have told me that I would become a teacher a while ago, I would have been like, but he said, I've been teaching now for 15 years, and all because of Mr. Moore, because that's all we knew him as. And that was what they all said. That's, what we knew him as, Mr. Moore. Including the state representative had been taught as well by my uncle as well. Like he just impacts so many people. The family, and just his reach was so far. You know what I mean? Like if you could throw your hand and it just never stopped, that would be his reach. He got the 21 gun salute. Just a great loss for my family. And like I said again, and for this world, because this is awesome, man, and I'm just not even going to do it, y'all. I don't know if my tear shit, I think I broke it. It's a lot. And then on top of that, y'all, I'm so nervous about my mother and this surgery, and you know, stuff that's going on. And I'm just, you know, and I've asked for prayer, and I've asked, and I found myself writing people and asking them, like on Facebook, you know, and things like that, asking, please pray, you know, because I know it does work. And I don't know if I'm kind of, now's not the time for me to waver in my faith. Now's not the time for me to even act like I don't trust, you know, his judgment, whatever. It's not the time. There's never going to be a time when that is okay. It's never going to be okay. So I need to just continue to pray and all of that so that I can keep my, because it's easy to say, well, you know, why, when really we don't have a right to even ask why. How dare we even ask why? You know what I mean? It's not for, we know what he intends for us to know, and we know that we are here for a short time and that we are borrowed. With that said, just now's not the time for my faith to waver. I don't know what to say about that. So we're gonna move forward. But let me tell y'all this though, okay? Now, just so that we can, let's move forward so I won't be, you know, pouty, crying. What the fuck? I swear, y'all, my eyes. Okay. No. Anywho, let's move on. We need to move on. Let's move forward. In Chicago. Now, okay. As we left, and yes, we drove, okay? Now, I will start by letting y'all know that before we could get out of fucking Kentucky, okay? Even going into Indiana. I don't know that I like his lip. The shit's already going away. Y'all, I bought a mat. Is this shit matte? It says matte. I ain't buying it. Anyhow, it's see, that's what happens when I'm not using my Dasha. But it's one of them. It just says matte stick. Absolute New York. One of these. That's what it looks like. Anywho. Anyway. So we trying to leave. Now, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all that I am fucked up about people's driving and shit, especially ever since I lost the ability to be able to drive myself, because it is my right leg that is affected. So I'm kind of looking to my shit over here on the side, the right side, and I happen to look at this. We're going to call him Mr. Wrinkles. I happen to look at Mr. Wrinkles. He's in this motherfucking truck. He's about 995 and a half years old. And he's like, and I'm like, hold up. This motherfucker can't see. Why the fuck are you on the expressway? I'm getting nervous and shit. I'm over in the car and I'm looking like, I literally done turned my head like, Mr. motherfucking Wrinkles, don't bring your ass over here. You know, I'm going through this whole shit. Okay. So we get past Mr. Wrinkles. And everything works out. He was trying to get over. We were kind of going through during the traffic time, the beginning. So it took us forever to get to Indiana. And then when we got in there, you know, it was just like a slow crawl. Okay. So we riding along and shit. And then when the shit breaks up or whatever, we rolling pretty good or whatever. We trying to, you know, 95, you know, and ride it 95 north and ride it on in. Child, listen. It was so much motherfucking detours and shit. We got to Lafayette. Listen to me. Lafayette, I believe is Indiana. Lafayette. Let me tell you one motherfucking thing. If I have any motherfucking loves that live in Lafayette, leave that shit below. We had to get off and took this long ass, look like 45-minute long ass detour, and at one point it was cows and shit on the side, and I said, hold up. Now how the fuck You know, at a point, it's like, we need to turn around. The motherfucking GPS is saying, make a legal U-turn, bitch. I got so tired of that bitch saying that, I was ready to hit her in that motherfucking legal ass throat. Shit's getting darker. We get inside of, I don't even know if that was like, maybe the city of, the downtown area of Lafayette. It was a big ass motherfucking circle. Now, we had to ask some folks. Now, I ain't with that shit. Because motherfuckers be crazy as hell. But, you know, my family is not wrapped quite tightly when it comes to things like that. So we all on motherfucking, we gonna ask motherfucker, but, you know, don't get too carried motherfucking crazy. So we get the first guy. He's a truck driver. He says, well, let me Google map because they had a detour. So he tells her to go. We follow his shit. And the shit didn't work out. It was like we was going in a circle. Then we ran up on another person. Finally, it took 5 people to get us the fuck up out of Lafayette. 2 hours we spent in that motherfucking Lafayette. Y'all, I thought it was in the Twilight Zone. I was like, you know what? These motherfuckers don't want us out. I don't know, but we might have to fight and shit. We got some peanuts or something here where we can live in the car. I don't know. But we finally fucking got out of Lafayette, and I'm happy as hell. Now, we're rolling pretty good. We get to Chicago much later than we thought that we were going to get there. So we got there and went to my aunt's house before we went to the hotel because we stayed in the hotel. And, of course, you know, they were still up. Family, you know, other family was still there. And, you know, they were expecting people. So everything was, you know, everything. You know, it was sad. It was so just surreal going in there. And I tried my best, like, when I seen my cousin, you know, not to break down, and you try to hold that shit together because you're supposed to be there for them. And I thought I would bite a motherfucking hole through the side of my jaw, you know, trying to hold it together. And I noticed that she was doing that busy bee shit, you know, where you're trying to keep going because if you sit still, you're going to think about it. I hadn't really fully sunk in, and, you know, and she was saying, he's just not suffering anymore and this type of thing. But, you know, as I've stated already, that is truly my sister, you know, really, sister, cousin, friend. And I also found myself, it is something to be said about sisterhood. And y'all, that's my damn Facebook. It's something to be said about that because I thought about this, like, as we were going to Chicago. I watched my mother and my aunt, and y'all heard me mention my Aunt Benita, how they were as they went to go to their sister, who had an extreme loss, and was something so, like, you know, really there didn't need to be any words, but like everything was said within body movements and the way they embraced, you know, kind of like, you know, like a healing, like they were bringing some type of healing if there was any to be had. Of course, my uncle was there, and of course she was glad to see, but it was something about them three getting together that was so, just I had never seen anything like that, even though I've been around, we were close knit. And, but just how they were. And it was just, I don't know, there was just something, you know, in the air. And I felt I'm so glad y'all hear from my aunt that, you know, from his wife. And then we got you, baby. We got you. It was so on some, because they sold the sisters on The Color Purple. Remember when Mr. tried to lean over and she's like, I was married now, and he went to lean in and they all kiki, and then when he came, they was like, Cause I don't give a fuck what go on. They gonna be there for each other. You know what I mean? And it was just, amazing. And I thought how blessed I was to even be within this family, to even have these kind of women to be the matriarchs of the family, to show me and guide us. And it was just amazing. And then I had that same moment, and I had to think back on it with my cousin as we sat next to each other in the den on, what is that? What do they call those? A sectional, like really big, had the big ass ottoman that you could really lay your ass on. And it was just not a whole lot that needed to be said. You know, you ever have that moment where it's like you sit down and boom, your head go that way and their head go this way. And we just sit there. And whatever it is that I had was hers to take. I don't know, y'all. It's just, it's very difficult. And this one has been hard. It really has, because he was that man. He was that uncle, and I don't know. And I know that I have to find my way, and I will. And God has not carried me this far to leave me. Even when most 95% of the time, I do not deserve him to carry me, but he still does. Only through his mercy and his grace will we make it through this shit. And we had some laughs, and actually it was my cousin's best friend that lived there, and her name is Nicole. And she came in and she said, Nina, I haven't seen you in years. And I said, yeah. And I always wondered about her because she lived up the street. So when I went there, that's where we would play, and they, it would be the double dutch and all of that shit, And her and my cousin, they, pretty much did everything together, went through those steps together. As me and her went through steps together, and they went through steps together, went to the same school and did all of that. You go through the rites of passage together. And we sat there and talked and talked, and it was just so amazing, just sitting there years later. And when you're younger, everything looks so big. But you realize that it's not as big as you thought. You know what I mean? Once you get older. It just was surreal, y'all. And I still can't wrap my head around it. I still cannot wrap my head around it. And I tell y'all, I think it was many times that I was broke up. But when the pastor said, I want you all to extend your hand as my aunt goes up and says her final goodbye to the man that she had been married to over 40-something odd years. And true to who she is, she reached her hand and grabbed his sister, which was the only sister, sibling. That was the last one. His other sister and brother had passed, and it was just those two left. And she extended her hand to her and had her to come up there with her. And just watching her say goodbye was just, it was a lot. Because it was. And I watched my mother and I watched her movements, because I find myself, of course, always, even though I'm 40-something years old, I'm still following my mother's lead. And I will continue to do that as long as I have her. And I watched that she was kind of like, had this moment where she wanted to like get up and go there because, you know what I mean? And it was just, it was very hurtful to see that. And it really made me think. And I need y'all to hear what I'm saying. Nothing is promised. Tomorrow, the next second, It's not promised. Whatever you hold near and dear to you, continue to hold it and hold it that much tighter. Because you don't never know when that's going to be it. Don't go to bed mad. Don't carry that hate. Don't carry that anger. Don't let that shit sit on you. Don't do that. Give people their flowers while they're here. Give it to them while they're here, because it's nothing but decoration after they gone. You know what I mean? You know, and it's decoration when they're here, but you know what I mean. Just, I don't know. And another part that, you know, got me was, you know, just seeing the respect that the servicemen had. The folding of the flowers, the 21 gun salute, the taps and all of that, it was a great respect. It was a great respect. And it made me view things differently when it comes to the servicemen and all of that. And as they folded up the flag and, you know, came to each other and brought it up and, you know, they do that and fix it. And then as I watched as they handed to my aunt, was another moment where I was like, you know, it was so hurt for her, but I was so proud of her because she sat there like the true queen she is. And as they handed it to her, she put her hand on the top and listened what they had to say, and they said thank you and yada yada yada. And I've seen them do that Periscope, but it was something that was so, it meant so much to me to see the man raise his arm up and do that last and show the respect and do all that for somebody that did not know. But all they did know is that he fought on the battlefield too. And just grateful for the respect and all of that. And then, you know, when it's said, you know, you take that last ride with your family and you go and they're in Illinois, you know, they take the body and put it into the hearses there. You know, you don't go and like here when my mother-in-law passed, they left it there right under the gazebo or whatever, and then they come. But there, you take it, the pallbearers, and put it in there, and that's it. And I watched my cousin, my male cousin, and he leaned on the, you know, he leaned over the coffin and like, you know, we all just stared. That's it. That's it. Like, there is no more. That's it, that's all. And it was just, it was just so hard. And then there was a point where, of course, you know, you have chicken and all of this shit. And my cousin was like, look, I'm tired of chicken, honey. Now, we're going to have to go get a sandwich or something because I'm tired of it. And it's like, whatever she wants to do. So we went and got the sandwich and one of them dip sandwiches or whatever, wherever we went to. And they were supposed to have the best root beer and all of that. And, you know, we had that and we sat and we talked and we kikied. And when we came back, I said, where's Mama? And my mother was upstairs with my auntie. And that was a huge undertaking because for her to have to go up the steps, it was definitely a hard trip for her. But it was a trip that she was born to make. And I knew that I just felt like she was up there trying to heal my auntie. Like, I don't know how to I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to word it. But I felt like that was what she was doing. And this is just a long ass video of me just, and I think I've done great. I've almost broke down a couple of times, but I've done great. I've held it together with y'all. I have really been a hot ass raggedy mess. Now, on a better note, on a funnier note, honey, y'all, let me please tell y'all about the damn funeral director. Now, first thing, we had to wait when we pulled up at the cemetery. There was another family that was there. We were on time, but they was kind of ran a little behind. And, everybody gets out the limo. Now, I'm not that one for the limo and shit. So I told my car, I said, look, you drive the car, damn it. And I'm in the car with him, and this shit got, you motherfucking Chicago drivers, you motherfuckers need to learn what the turn signal is for. You getting in and out lanes and shit, you motherfucking lane hopping horse. So we, get out, and I'm like, I wanna, sit, I'm gonna go over where my uncle and my aunt is, okay? Now, at this point, the funeral home director decides, he's kind of, I had a nice piece of hair on, honey. A nice piece of hair, I need y'all to know. And he said, oh, your hair is so pretty. And I could have swore he said, I love the color. It's really, really dark purple. It was not hood rat purple. No shade, but it wasn't like violet. But you wear what you want to wear. Now all the colors are in. And I said, oh, thank you. But he mentioned something about the color. So I was like, well, maybe, So as he's saying that, I'm like, I want to go over here. I want to go with y'all. So my uncle and my aunt, they, get their stride and they're going to go this way. So he's still talking and he's like, so are you from Kentucky? I said, yes, I am. He said, oh, ain't nothing like a Southern girl. Okay, so now we just perusing funerals for dates. This what we do? This what you do when you have a funeral? You just, folks grieving, honey. Let me get this grieving ass bitch. Bitch look like she grieving off her heart. If I can't get her, eventually one of these motherfuckers is going to go for this shit. And I said, yeah, okay. Now, I can hold my own until a motherfucker etches over my way. I got a thing about my motherfucking personal space that will make me lose it. And he was like, and you sure are cute and pretty and something. He's still talking this shit. Finally, I got away from his ass. The motherfucker was getting too close now. I don't want to have to pop your ass, and that just would be wrong for me to have to act a fool like that. So I get away, and then we went through the whole thing. Now, as we're going to where they're going to do the whole 21 gun salute and all of that, my mother said, well, do you have your iPad? Can you record it? And I said, okay, so I'm pulling that out. And he's right there. He's like, you got any pictures of me in there? Motherfucker, why would I have? Why the fuck are we still having a discussion like, bitch, I gave you the code, the lukewarm shoulder. Now you're going to make me give you the hot burning hot shoulder and just be like, look. Now I told my auntie and uncle, I said, if y'all believe me with that old ass motherfucking pervert again, Joe Jackson, y'all can't. Okay, so I'm like, no. But I'll hit him with no. From there, you ought to know. Because I'm getting, my cousin, my niece, like, what's going on? What's wrong? Instantly, she's like, y'all, me and her so here. I done hit the beatbox, motherfucking eyes is bulging out like, So, we watched the whole shit. Now, y'all, another motherfucking moment I had was that the shooting people was facing me this way, and I'm trying to get myself. I said, now, hold up. Now, where they gonna shoot that way? Wait a minute. They pointed this way. Now, wait a minute, bitch. But I held it together like, what the fuck? So So, of course, they shot it up or whatever. Now, it's over. And they say, and the family is going back so that we can feed, you know, the family will be fed and yada, 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 yada. Now, as we on our way back, my cousin's driving. Now, he's not used to, he lives here and he's never been to Chicago. So, he's not used to the Chicago driving. And really is not sure. So, he's getting a little nervous about us keeping up with the motherfucking limo. Why was the motherfucker, now he's doing 75. And the motherfucking limo was at least 6 cars ahead. So that meant that motherfucker was doing 85. Why the fuck are you bending curves and corners and shitting on the expressway in this big motherfucking limo? 80 something. I can't. Then the front limo almost hit somebody like, bitch, what? You gonna rush a bitch? Anywho. So we get back there. Now I was like, listen, I really need to get some cigarettes. Now I have been pre-warned about the cost of cigarettes in Chicago, but I guess, you know, I guess I didn't believe Fat Mick was greasy or shit stink. Excuse me, y'all. I feel a little willy-nilly. I need a little something. So I said, how much are you cigarettes? He said, $13. Thank you. Good evening. The fuck? What the fuck? No wonder all them motherfuckers was buying singles. So we get back there. And I have to come down the elevator for, you know, disable this type of thing. So I finally make it to the entrance of where, you know, you're going to eat or whatever. It's really nice. So this motherfucker, as I'm going in, he's like, well, you know, I'm going to hold the door for you, Kentucky. That's it. I done motherfucking had it. I said, honey, now I know that I done gave you, I tried to do it nicely, baby. I did. But you doing the most. I looked up while I was eating, even after I read him, he was still watching like, bitch, the fuck? And then some chick that was there, she was like, girl, he owned the funeral home. What the fuck that got to do with the cost of milk? Shit. You know, like, girl, you better get that change. You know, one of them. That's what she was saying. Okay. But, bitch, I'm married. And are you setting a trap up? What are you doing, bitch? I don't get it. Moving forward. Now, let me tell y'all. As we were leaving, that was this bitch. Me and my auntie was next to each other. And y'all, this bitch cut me a look like I had fucked her husband. I fucked her husband and her daddy. I'm serious. That bitch was like, one of them. Now my auntie checking her and I finally said, how you doing? She said, oh, I'm just admiring your hair. I think I was just admiring your hair. So my Aunt Bernice said, no, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. Y'all, she looked at me like the bitch knew me. And I thought, well, is this one of them hateful motherfuckers that can't stand my ass? You know, the few few that maybe don't like my videos or something. I'm like, am I gonna have to kick this bitch in the face? You know, that bitch was looking at me like, I said, hey, hello. She said, I was just admiring your hair because I didn't have to finally say, well, bitch, clearly you must have something you want to say to me. You know. And my aunt, she said, she's like, no, you wasn't. So my aunt's giving her the look like, honey, we got outside, y'all. When I tell y'all she had on a pair of motherfucking booties, suede booties. Listen. They were supposed to have like that little triangle on the side where it's supposed to have a dip. Bitch, if your whole motherfucking heel on one foot is out and the other one's covered up, bitch, they garbage. Please and thank you. Please and motherfucking thank you. And bitch, was you in there in a wedding dress? I don't know. Y'all, I ain't never had no bitches look at me like that. Like, for real. I mean, you know, and I have words with some bitches. But this bitch, she put old funk ass straight like, One of them. I think the bitch made noise too. Turned her head and was. Hello? Alright. Y'all see me. I'm wrong. I had too many now. 2 of them was enough, my good. Come on. Y'all, I just want to kind of share those thoughts with y'all. Know this is a long ass video. And but yeah, to come in here and talk about the shit that's going on with what is it, Married to Medicine, that came on yesterday, and then Sean Bradley's interview, which was absolutely fabulous. About the whole get down with Lisa Nicole and all of that. I'm gonna do that shit separate. We'll do that with the. I'm gonna try to do the hip hop hoes reunion. Y'all just bear with me, and I will let y'all know for sure whether I will be able to make it by tomorrow. But the way it's looking, I'm not, and I do apologize for that. But I will never apologize for being there for my mama or my family ever. But I don't want, I don't want anyone to be disappointed. And I'm, really, like I want to, meet up with my loves or whatever, and Kevin and Ashley and, and just everybody, So I'm going to know for sure. I'll let y'all know tomorrow. But I'll be back in here today. Y'all know what happened to the whole video every day in August. There was just no way around it. Y'all, my skin is even looking rough. I was on Periscope last night, and just my skin, and I have like a breakout, but I know it's nerves, it's little bitty bumps, and it's just nerves. You know what I mean? And I went today to the damn endocrinologist, y'all, so I have to take the damn insulin 3 times a day. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The first dosage they gave me was too high, and it was dropping me too damn low, and I couldn't get no even in between. So they lowered the dose. So hopefully it's gonna get better. But she did get on me, and then on my dead leg, my 4th toe is like looking some kind of way. So I have to go to they need to look at that. So we're going to see. But I do have a better understanding. And I think now the way things are, she just kept it motherfucking funky. You got to do this. You got to do right. This and that. The other. She understood that I was getting too low, which makes me feel, and I really can't put my finger on it, but I don't feel like myself. Like it's kind of like willy-nilly. I don't know. It's confusing. Like, you don't feel yourself. So hopefully I'm going to get on track. I've been reading all that I can read to find out what's best. And I think ultimately after talking to people, it's just like anything else. You have to find out. Yes, they tell you what you should do, but you have to find out what works for you a lot of times on your own. You know what I mean? Like you take a bit from here, a bit from there, and figure out what works. So I'm at that point. So anywho, y'all, this is almost 40 minutes, y'all. I'm out of here. This is what I got. But I thank y'all for all your love and prayers and support. And oh my God, some of the most beautiful emails with some of the most beautiful prayers and things like that. Y'all, my motherfucking love's riding. And I love y'all for that. I love it. I love y'all for that. And I appreciate it. My family does too. Please continue. Please continue to pray for my mother. All right?